GLP medications like Ozempic and Wegovy have been game changers for weight loss, but at what cost? If you've heard of Ozempic butt, you know it's not just about fat loss, it's about losing critical muscle too. And that muscle loss can weaken your hips, weaken your knees, and your overall function. I'm Dr. Tammy Penhollow, a spine and joint pain expert, and I'm going to break down why this happens, how it affects your movement, and what you can do to rebuild strength. Let's dive in. Studies show that up to 40% of the weight lost with meds like Ozempic, Wegovy, and Mounjaro comes from lean body mass. So while this is not all skeletal muscle, some of that is bone, water, connective tissue, a lot of it is skeletal muscle. And this is problematic. Preserving lean mass is important for long-term mobility. It's important for function, and it's important for metabolic regulation. I have incorporated into my practice patients who are coming to me because of Ozempic butt and other pains that have crept up since they lost weight. It's like, I really thought that losing the weight would make me feel better. I thought that losing all those pounds would take off the pressure of my knees, and yet my knees are more painful. We have a conversation and we talk about how losing the muscle mass weakens the stability around the knees. Losing the muscle mass weakens the hips, weakens the glutes, and how important those muscles are for translating all the way down to the knees and creating a stable knee, a stable gait, and the ability to have power and explosion when you want to call on those knees. So something we're doing is we've added in the Emsculpt. I previously used Emsculpt for joint stabilization, and this is exactly what we're trying to do. Emsculpt builds muscle. In a 30-minute session, we get 20,000 supramaximal, safe, and perfect contractions. If I place it on the glutes, we are strengthening the glutes. We are building that. If I strengthen it on the quads, place it on the hamstrings, we are stabilizing those muscles around the knee. We can also get in the gym. A lot of people I know who are prescribing these GLP-1s are actually saying, in order for me to prescribe them, I'm having you sign a commitment that says you will incorporate strengthening and resistance training into your regimen because we're trying to combat that muscle loss. That's absolutely about it too. What you really need to look for is not just going in and doing 3 sets of 20 at a generous little weight. These need to be muscle building sessions where you're probably taking the whole entire body in a 30 to 40 minute thing, and you are not smoking and joking. You are not playing with your Instagram feed and hanging out, talking to people while you're doing this. You are working out to the point of being able to get just barely 1 rep over what you're stopping at. For example, we're going to do 8 reps or we're going to do 12 reps, and you might hold 1 in reserve. So you might have been able to do 9. You might have been able to do 13, but they're that hard, they are that good that you are actually building muscle during that time. And then you take a break. You take several days off from that. So even if you do the entire body 2 times a week in 30 to 45, maybe 60 minutes, if you're not super effective and efficient, then you can help combat this weight loss that is affiliated with the GLP-1s. So why is this important to you? Why do you need to do this? Well, here's what happens. If we don't strength train, weight train, use our body weight exercises, then we're going to decrease our bone density. Bone density then shows as osteoporosis. With weakened bones, we increase our risk of fracture. 70% of hip fractures are in women, and 1 out of 4 women who break a hip are going to die within that very first year. So let's strengthen the muscles. Let's decrease the bone loss that comes in from having the decreased muscle mass to stabilize. That's number 1. Number 2, if you decrease your lean body mass in terms of the muscles, we decrease the ability to build muscles and to assimilate those beautiful proteins you're eating, the amino acids or the building blocks to build the muscles, then you don't have the ability to maintain or retain your muscle. So there's that. Number 3, when you are building muscle, you are increasing your insulin sensitivity. So we don't then get a rebound diabetes risk. Because guess what? Studies have shown that 85% of the people who started GLP-1 have stopped them by 2 years later. And what happens is they've replaced a lot of the lean muscle mass. They still have the fat. So they've got a higher ratio of fat to lean muscle. So you're more likely to regain the weight. And a lot of it is in fat, not in muscle, because you've lost the muscle. Remember, muscle keeps your thermostat up. It keeps the fires burning. It keeps your metabolism higher. So if you lose too much muscle without doing something like this to combat it, then when you do stop the GLP-1, you're at increased risk for diabetes. You're at increased risk for cardiovascular disease and at increased risk of overall all-cause mortality. I don't want that for you. I want you to be able to, if you stop the medication, to have the foundation of those strong muscles and be able to combat diabetes, combat heart disease, and combat overall mortality. Thank you.
If you have knee pain and would like to learn more, I have a worksheet called 5 Things to Do Now to Reduce Your Knee Pain Within a Week. Go to www.kneeboostnow.com to download it for free. I'd love to hear from you, so please like, subscribe, and comment below so I can help you get out of your knee pain.